Hello everyone, this is Valkyrie StitchNButton, and today is January 11th. It is Wednesday. I think it's the my first Flosstube since the new year. And what a new year it's been. Not even in a good way. Okay, let's, I have a huge pile of stuff to show you. Although you'd think I'd had no stitching done, but apparently I did. For New Year's, let's see. I didn't do anything special on New Year's. It was no big deal. Frank had to work, so he was sleeping before New Year hit. Not a big deal. I think I was on the phone with Jay Long. We happened to be talking when New Year's hit, and we were like, oh yeah, by the way, Happy New Year. She's 2 hours behind, so I had to wish her Happy New Year later after we hung up. It's a blur. My son came down. Apparently there was something wrong with our radiator on our car. I called my son. He decided he was going to come down for the weekend because he had off for the long weekend anyway. He looked at the radiator. We had to replace the radiator on the car. He actually did it for me. So thankful because it saved a lot of money. Thank goodness. He was able to fix that for us. He left on Monday night. I got fevers and didn't feel good. It just, all of a sudden, like 1 o'clock in the morning, it just hit me and I had to go to bed. The next day, I woke up and I was sick as a dog. Lots of fevers, just horrible, and took the COVID test and I was positive. So, I was able to go to, let's see. In June, I went to a retreat all the way in San Antonio, which means I was in 2 airports, plus in a pretty large gathering. I don't know, it was over 100 people in that gathering. End of October, early November, flew up to Pennsylvania. That's 2 more airports. Drove over to Ohio. There was 40 people there. Drove back from Ohio to Harrisburg, met up with friends near King of Prussia. Yeah, I met up with friends along the way during the week and home. Yet, when I stay home for 2 weeks, I get COVID. My only contact was the Amazon guy. He handed me a package. My son came over. He's negative though, and my postman handed me a package. So somewhere in there, I picked it up. Frank did not have it. My son never came up positive or with any symptoms. So apparently it was me. I don't know. So it's been a hell of a week. Not only that, I've had fevers. I've had lots of aches, lots of sleeping. I think I had like somewhere around 943 naps. I lost count. I got a fever blister for the first time. I don't remember ever having one before. If I did, it was so many years ago, I don't remember. Y'all, try to get some Abreva. The name brand stuff was $30. $30. The store brand stuff, and I think this bottle is bigger than the Abreva bottle. $18 for this little thing. It's highway robbery. Somebody should be arrested. But it works because my lip was friggin' killing me. Lots of water. I drank lots of water. Lots of water, lots of ibuprofen. It actually made me hungry, and I think maybe from the fever made me hungry. You know, my body just needed food to heal. But every time I ate, my stomach hurt. But I still ate because I was hungry. I felt like I was on steroids. It was so weird. I've never been sick like that. Not with all those symptoms like that. Like, I didn't have the headaches, thank goodness. But with the constant fevers, the over fatigue, and still hungry, that's never it was just odd for me. I had a pretty decent day yesterday. My fevers had finally broken. I had low-grade fever. I don't think I went below 99 for almost a week. And my ear itches. Anyway, was able to wash my hair yesterday, the whole 9 yards. Yay. Changed my sheets. This morning, I woke up with I was trying to sleep and woke up with a headache. It was so bad. And then I said, I'm like, come on now. I'm over this COVID. Now I got a headache. So this, hopefully we're better now. Okay, let's just hope. I've got a little bit of a cough left from it. And let's just cross our fingers. I have not sewn. I have bags to make. People are waiting and I have things to do. With all that being said, you'd think I'd have no stitching. Well, you'd be wrong. You're seeing a little bit of the piles here. Yeah. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you what I've got done. The reason why I have most of the stitching is because for New Year's Day, I did the birthday stitching thing. And basically anything that got started on January 1st, plus sometimes I'd start something in January and didn't know the exact date before I started writing it down. So it just defaulted to the 1st. So I had 11 things that had a birthday on January 1st. I was able to stitch at least 7 of them, and with an average of about 50 stitches. And then some revelations came up while I was stitching, which is the first thing I'll show you. So one of the things that I ended up stitching was Guardians of Notre Dame. That was a sale a few years, 2018 mystery sale from Ingleside Imaginarium. I did enjoy stitching on this. When I first started it, I did 1,200 stitches within a few days. Within a couple of weeks of having this started, I did 1,200 stitches. I really did enjoy it. It pretty much, I finished the January part, which was this. So when I picked it up for the birthday, I started stitching on it, and I remembered how much I liked stitching on it. And so I decided I was going to make this. We're going to try this again, okay, because it didn't work so well last year with Maurice. It's okay, though. I've got it fixed for Maurice, too. So, I'm going to try, I broke it up, and I'm going to try to finish it by the end of the year. So, I started on this part already, so it'll be an easy month, and I figure with the COVID, why not, right? We'll get a little head start. So this is my January, and then I'm going to go around, and then December will be that, and if there's any leftovers. So that's where we're going to go with that. I am stitching this one on 32 count Victoria Motto sampler linen in the colorway Shadow. This was a monthly one. I don't know, that she probably doesn't offer it anymore. I have no clue. I dropped out of the groups for her and stopped getting this stuff. No shade, I'm over it. That's basically what it is. I have a ton of her threads, and the fabric of the month thing wasn't going well, so I just dropped out. But anyway, this is how far I've gotten on this. It's a new needle minder. So I got all this done up here, and a lot of this dark purple, because some of this was started. Basically, I did 400 stitches on them, and that was... yeah, just after midnight, I started. So I did 400 stitches on him. So as you can see, January's done, along with all the back stitching. So I just need to finish up February. Okay, so now I'm going to confuse you, right? This is technically January. This is going to be my January sale piece. So I just need to finish up this portion and do the back stitching. And I have till the end of the month to do it, which... I'll get it done. I'll get it done. I am stitching this with all the called for DMC. And I tried to get it into Pattern Keeper. I couldn't get it to work right. So it's all printed out on paper. Alright. So that's one. And why can't I zip this shut? Because I got a string in here. Alright. I also have a finish. Because I can't remember. I don't think I showed it. I don't think I was done yet. I was almost done. This is Salem from Verbena on Etsy. It is stitched on a 32 count Perman linen, and I used Rustic Red from Old Willow Stitchery, Blue Mist from Old Willow Stitchery, and 310. So the Blue Mist is the gray, the Rustic Red is the orange, and obviously the black is the black. And this is what it looks like. I also forgot to write down, but I ended up using a sparkly. I can't remember. I think it was a diamond. I think it's no. Did I write it down? I did not write it down. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was a petite treasure braid in this grayish black color for the key. You see it sparkle? Yeah, it was a random petite treasure braid because I didn't even need that much of it. So this one's done. I am not sure how I'm going to finish this. Probably as a flat, like a hanging flat. Not sure, but I still need to do an FFO for this month because remember I said I wanted to try to do at least one FFO a month. So I don't know if that'll be the FFO I do. We'll see. Your guess is as good as mine. We'll both be surprised. How about that? Another item that I stitched on, and I think I was just waiting for the first because I didn't write it down as to how many stitches I did, but I wanted to stitch on something. So I decided to grab one of my Prairie Schooler Santas, and I only stitched this little bit of red in here. I think it was like a length or two of thread that I just put in. This is Prairie Schooler. This is all stitched on Dirty You from Dames of the Needle. I have changed the colors to my liking. I'm using Classic Colorworks for the most part, and some DMCs. Of course, Cupid is the red, and that's pretty much what I based it off of, and then I went from there. What green do I like? Yeah, and it's going along. This is Santa this is a Santa year 2019. And eventually I will get him done. They need a lot more love. It's heavy. Oh, I did pull a random blue. I couldn't even tell you what color that is for the eye, because I did do the eye on the lamb also. And I had a random blue in one of my other whips and just pulled a strand and did the one stitch on the eye. There's going to be another eye with that other sheep anyway. So, which I'm pretty sure when I mentioned it before, there's no other blues in it. So I was going to just pull a random strand from somewhere. Next up, I also stitched on this because I know this was a January 1st start. I did 51 stitches on it. It's called The Bee Comes from Leela Studio. I started this with B's and T's, Sebastian. I am pretty sure Sebastian finished his. It's fine. It's fine. It's being stitched on 32 count doubloon from Picture This Plus. And I went through my stash and pulled stash threads because I don't think I had all the colors. Here's what I chose. Or color palette. I mean, it's close. I stayed close to it. I think the purples were the major change in it. And yeah, 51 whole stitches. But again, this was one of those birthday things. So what I did was I just filled in this flower with the strand that I had. And that was it. I don't know why this is so... I think I finished this and this, like, in just a couple of days. And then all the rest has just taken forever, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't hate it. I think it's great, but I don't know why I can't get myself motivated to get a good chunk of it done. But it'll get there, eventually. I have got itchy nose, itchy ear. I'm a hot mess, guys. I've been a hot mess. Alright. Let's get this out of the way. Next. Alright, so another one that's January 1st is Lady and the Tramp. This is a kit. This is one of the smalls. It's not one of those huge ones that they have going out there. I just can't do the whole big one. Anyway, Lady and the Tramp. This one was given to me from Vicky Reading Stitching. It was a New Year start, and I did 53 stitches on this for its birthday. I changed out the fabric to 32 count white Joblin. And here's where I'm at. I am pretty sure what I did was just the browns. I filled in more browns in here, in the tree. So, little bits better than no bits, right? Next up, penguins. You haven't seen this one in a while. Matter of fact, you haven't seen this one since March of last year, unless you saw my whip parade. So, I changed out the fabric to be 28 count white Monaco from what they gave us. It's a Riolas kit. And for New Year's birthday, I went and put in 45 whole stitches. Now, part of my problem and slowness on only getting in the 45 is the fact that there's a mistake that I need to continue to fudge, because there's no way that I'm pulling out that thread, and who knows if I'd have enough in the long run, because it's that woolly thread. But there's a mistake somewhere in here where this is not lining up with what I have over here, and I'm just going to have to figure it out, because I'm not pulling it all out. But he still looks cute, and what I did was I just continued to fill in over here. And I think the next time I pull this out, I'm really going to have to try to get past that point. Maybe come in from the side. Like, I'm thinking if I come in from the side here and just finish out here, then I can fill in and make it. Because I don't want him to look like he's got some kind of oblong head or anything either. But it's going to have to fudge it. I'm going to have to fudge it. There's no way. I'll throw it out the window first. Alright. Next up for another January start was this birthday piece in Hulk Castle. It's from Artisy, and I ended up putting in 58 whole stitches in this one also. It is being stitched on 18 count Ada because it's full coverage, and why not? It's a smaller one. 18 will be great for it. I am stitching 2. Yep, 2 over 1. I think it looks okay now. You can see the strand here. So apparently I was working on this color. I think I've been just sort of trying to fill in. You know, get some stitches out there, fill in. Get some that typewriter method that they're talking about. Just pick a hole and fill it in. I've been trying to do that with any of the full coverages that I'm working on. Because sometimes it's hard to find that missing stitch when all those stitches are around it also. Alright, next. But wait, there's more. Alright. Another birthday stitch? Yes. This is Long Dog Samplers, You Belong to Me. I think I started this last year. I did. And this is being stitched on 32 count linen. Why do I not know the name of the linen? Must be a mystery linen. That's the only thing I could think of. And I'm stitching it with Silks For You PR 168. I did have to do some frogging, not this time, but the time before, because of the whole problem with Pattern Keeper. I now have this in Pattern Keeper twice, once to reflect the side page breaks and once to reflect the bottom page breaks. And this is where I'm at with this one. Loving the colors. Basically, the only thing I stitched was this little butterfly along with the little back stitching and this bird. But I was able to fix all the stuff that needed to be fixed in here and down in here before I put it away, which was, I'm glad I did that for myself, because then I was able to just pick it up and start stitching again. I need to get a lot more progress on this one. It has fallen by the wayside, and the silks for you is so pretty. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm still a mess, obviously. Right. Put the paper in first, then the fabric. How about that? First day doing a Flosstube. Alright. Next up, this one was, this is cute because, again, it was a new year, new start, and, my son was here, and I had pulled this out, and he's like, oh, he remembers back in the day when he was little, and I was actually stitching on this. This was the first time I was stitching on it. He also remembers the elephant being done and everything, and he said it was a blast from the past. He was like, God, that's my childhood sitting right there. So I was able to show him how much further I am on it, and that is this Animal Magnetism. It's Charts and Charms. I did switch out the fabric to a 28 count Irish tea-dyed linen, I think it's called. It's like the Charles Craft roll tube thing. But, and here's where I'm at. Basically, because it was a New Year, New Start thing, it started at January 1st, 2018. Again, that's when I started it for the second time. Excuse me. So I got 55 stitches in. So I just grabbed it, and the program I was using to highlight erased all the highlights. Remember, I had that problem. This was part of that problem. So I need to go along and highlight as I go along again. I'm trying to, like, take one color and highlight all the previous stuff just so I can figure out where I'm going to be and start stitching again. So because I've got all these to work on, I didn't have a lot of time to really do a lot of highlighting. So I knew I was done in here, and it was a page break type situation. Anyway, I was able to just fill in some more right in here, and it was a whole 55 stitches. Let me see. Yeah. I basically did a whole bunch of in there, just to be able to stitch on it for its birthday. So, you may wonder why I did so well up in here, and then I stopped and moved back down. Because there's a mistake in here. And I think I figured out, if I go ahead and do around here, right, then I start filling in here, then I can come back through here and figure out what's going on here, because the mistake doesn't really need to be pulled out, because it's just the negative spaces and stuff like that around the globe. I am so sorry. Alright, hold please. Okay, so I went and got some coffee. Because sometimes it just works, okay? Hopefully, we won't have any more of those. One of my newer cups. Just say coffee and I'll turn around. I did buy this chart from Heartstring Samplery also. So anyway, back to this. Again, another episode of where did I mess up, and I'm not pulling it all out, but we'll figure it out later. So again, why I've been going this way and that way, but not in here. It's fine. It'll work its way out. It's only half stitches anyway. And as long as the bird looks like a bird and my elephant looks as fabulous as he does, that's all that matters, right? So this is where I am with animal magnetism. It does need a lot more love this year than it did last year. Okay. Pretty sure that's where I left off. You know, get this put away. Go on to the next one. It's one of my Garon toting bags. These seals. Look how cute they are. Alright. Next up. Hunter. Jean-Baptiste Monge. I think I say that right. I don't know. We'll go with it. Because I am obviously not French. Lena Lawson Needle Arts is who puts these out. I bought mine. Well, I was able to get mine from Stitchery Express. Cindy Sorley. I know that Amy, hi Amy, finished hers and she made cute little changes to hers, fixed his little hat some, and put flowers. So adorable. So adorable. Okay, so this one I am stitching on 32 count Moonlit Tree by Fabric Flare. And this is where I'm at right now. I did 104 stitches. And it's very deceiving because you wouldn't think it was that many, but it's the inside of his little arm, his front arm right here. I do still need to figure out what I'm going to do about the grass. The grass that goes around him is very light green, and this is a dark setting. I don't know if I want to put that grass in there or not, or maybe just put some in, and it's over 1.5 stitches. So we'll decide later. That's for future Vic. I'll get the rest of him done and then figure out what I want to do about grass, because it's obviously in here where he's not going to be looking as smooth. But this is the fabric that I decided to put him on. Anyway, 100 stitches on him, which is 100 further than I was before I picked him up. And it's a color chart. I think that's one of the reasons why it's a little bit slower for me. I hate color charts. But he got worked on. Alright. Next up. One I haven't stitched on for a bit, and that would be poor Maurice. So I said I have new plans for Maurice, because obviously the whole breaking him up into 12 bits did not work for me last year. I'm fine. It's fine. This time I've decided on doing a strand a day on him. Doesn't mean I'm going to pull him out every day and put a strand in. It means that I intend to have a strand a day done. Now, so far it's what, the 11th? And I hadn't worked on them until, actually last night I pulled them out and I put 7 strands in. So I've got 7 of the 11 that need to be done so far this year. There you go. It totaled out to be 200 stitches, by the way. I am stitching this on 32 count Murky by Pictures Plus because I did not like the Ada that came with it. I don't know if it was 14 or 16 count, but I decided to go with the Murky. And I'm glad I did, because I really like the way it looks. And I've got several compliments on the fabric. Just seems to really go well. So this is how far his antler goes out, and it only goes up and out by a couple stitches just by back stitching around this tree. So this tree is all done. And all I have to do is the back stitch around there, and I have to finish up the house that's in here and then do the back stitching. But I think I have one more color, just a few stitches of one more color for the antler itself, and then the rest is all house and snow and back stitching. But that's how far I've gotten on him. 200 stitches last night. He's looking good. So I'm not sure that a strand a day for the year is going to get him done. But, I mean, it'll give him progress, and I wouldn't mind getting more than that if I'm just on a roll with them. I feel like once I get down into this face part, there's a lot of stop and start, obviously, around in here because of all the color changes. But I feel like once I get around in here, I know the ear went pretty quick for me. I think it was like 1,200 stitches just on an ear. But in here, there's a good block of color here and there. So I'll be able to cruise right through that part. It's just up in the antlers where it gets fiddly. Again, this is a color chart. And it gives me fits looking at some of it. So, it's fine. Alright. And this is a bag that Vicky Reading and Stitching made for me to put him in. Because it's mooshish. Okay, another one that I stitched on. This was not a birthday thing. But I stitched on them the other day for a few prompts, and I put in 356 stitches on it. And that is my Quixote Picasso. For those that don't know, I chose this because my mom actually, it's just a nostalgic piece for me. My mom had sheets with that print all over them. And it's just nostalgic. My mom loved Picasso. So why not do one, right? I did a Picasso for her. I did the rooster for her before. I don't know where that went. I think a friend of hers has it. But it's in, like, the primary colors and everything. And you'd think it would have been easy. It always seems like the easier it is, the more you mess up. Because I remember messing up several times on that. Anyway, so this is from LA Geek on Etsy. And I am stitching it with the 310 on 32 count Hermosa from Picture This Plus. And here is where I'm at. Basically, what I worked on this last time are those front legs on the horse. So, I just worked in and filled in his front legs here. He is over 50% done. Because now I have the donkey and the front of the horse and the sun. And there's a windmill here. And I guess some grass or land. Oh, and then I realized all in here is the word Picasso, which I never did end up putting in yet. So I still have to put that in. But moving right along with that one. I know you usually point out the needle minders. If you have any questions on them, just message me. Most of them are probably available in my Facebook group. And I put new ones in there recently. I think I showed them in my last video. And I have more coming. So stay tuned for more. Alright. This bag is from Needle Bling Designs. It's a very cute bag. Alright. Next up is Scotty, Goddess of the North. AKA Stadium, because whenever I type it in, that's what autocorrect wants to make it. This is what she looks like. I did mark off the bottom portion of this, so it should look like that instead of that. And I am putting this on 25 count. I'm stitching on 25 count easy grid 1/1 full cross, and I've put in a total of 266 stitches so far this year. And here it is. I worked on, I'm trying to figure out what I worked on. I think I started filling in up here and then using whatever was left over to fill in some of the parts down in here. So I know I put in everything that's here and most of the grays in there, which is coming off this cliff here and into the sky. One of these days I will get a full page finish on one of these full coverages, because it's getting sad, guys. It's getting sad. Alright. Next up are two. Remember when I did a video and I showed you all these new starts I'm going to do for January? Well, then I got sick. So I wasn't stitching much while I was sick. And, yeah, so I didn't get a lot of stitches, starts done. I did start one for New Year's. My New Year new start was Peaceful Pondering. That is one that I started with Amy from Amy Loves Toads, so she can finish another one without me. It's a start along. Don't feel bad, Amy. I'm just a slacker. I really am. Okay, so I got the smallest start on this one. That's it. That's it, guys. And I forget why I didn't do more. I just think I had to throw in some stitches quick. It's called Peaceful Pondering. It's from Meridian Designs. This is what it looks like. I don't think it has a picture of the bottom, but that's what the top looks like. It's a Biscore New. And I'm using the called for colors. I thought I was going to change them out. I decided not to. Using the called for colors, but the fabric that I'm using is from Creator. Dreamer Bug. And I don't know where my card is. I don't know where my card is for it. Maybe I didn't make one when I started stitching. I thought I did. But, you know, I guess not. I don't know how many stitches I did on it either. I didn't count them. They were free stitches. I didn't put them anywhere. But it's Dreamer Bug fabric from Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery is Sammy J's shop on Facebook. And her daughter dyes fabric. I don't know what they have available right now, but if you join the group, it's under the albums, and it's her daughter that dyed this fabric, and I forget the count, too, honestly. I'd totally suck. I'd have to... I know it'll fit both pieces, and that's all that matters, so I just started somewhere in the center off to the side. That's all I got for you. But yeah, that's all. I need to put a lot more stitching in on this one, obviously. I don't want this one to languish for years like poor Hunter has. It shouldn't take that long. On the bottom, I was looking at the chart. Hang on. On the bottom is... It's just butterflies on the bottom. There's 4 of them. And their tails are on the inside, the tops are on the outside, and then there's little butterflies and some swamp weeds coming out of the bottom. I don't think, yeah, there's no picture of it, so I can't show it to you. Maybe I should have started with the bottom so you'd know what it looks like, right? But I didn't. Okay, next. Let's get this moving. I don't know how long this video is, probably too long. I did a new start last night. This new start is called Halloween Tree. It's from Romy Creations. And this is what it looks like. I purchased this from Romy. I had contacted her about some stuff that I was interested in. And she said, I'll be in the U.S. if you want to save on shipping. I said, that'll be great. So I waited for her to get to the U.S. Told her what my order was. And she compared to what she had on hand after Galleria. And I was able to get this along with all the threads, except for the DMC, because she uses her threads also. So I got her threads and the fabric. The fabric is fabric play. If you notice how decorative this fabric is, the only part you stitch is right in here. And that's what it's a fabric layer fabric. It's a 32 count. And last night I got a start on it. Here's here's her colors. That's the colors. Now, when I first looked at this one color, Antiquities, which is the tree, the color to me on the strand, on the card, looked more gray. But as I'm stitching it up, it's coming up more brown, which I'm happy with. I wasn't sure. So I figured out the center part of the framed portion, and I just started in the center. It looks like mine's not gonna, I don't want to say not fit as well. What I want to say is it's going to have a little bit more of a border all the way around than what the model shows. Now, I did message her and ask her if maybe they did 28 count or something on the model, and she said no. I gave her a hard text. She said no, I double checked. It says 32 count. But I don't know whether when he printed these again, he ended up making it slightly larger on the print, but I'm going to have more space around it, which is fine. It's going to look great. It doesn't need to fit exactly on the line or anything. But, yeah, I'm going to have a little bit more space, but I'm glad I double-checked because I counted all the spaces in between. I was like, I'm going to have a lot more space than what's here. Anyway, so I centered it. It's not a problem. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, guys. So, this is my whole start of 110 stitches anyway. In the center of the tree, just using the one color called Antiquities, so then the darker brown will go in the creases, and there's a hole here, and it'll come around and sort of outline this branch there and everything. But that's where I'm at with that. And I just started it last night, so we'll see how much more I get done. I don't know. And I think I showed this. I love Pet Detective. The second one's my favorite. So, it's one of the new needle minders. Alright. Here we go. Now, what do I have coming up next? Well, I am going to do a new start before my next video. I have some gifts. I don't think I have any purchases. And I have some new starts coming up. Okay, so I got in the mail a couple more cards. One is my friend Kim and her miracle baby. And they really tried hard to have this baby, and here she is. She came a little early, so she was in the NICU for a while, but she's finally home. And I love this card, and I love that for her and her husband. And then I received this little thank you card from Cheryl. She was a winner of one of my giveaways. I love that. Look how cute he is. He's gonna make cute floss drops, because that's what I usually do with the cards, is I cut them out to make floss drops. I also received in the mail a little package that had a bunch of beads from my friend Andrea, and she gave me this. No regrets. She gave me that great sticker, and she made this. This is a travel tissue pack, and she made the cover, and it has a pocket. Look how cute that is. So it holds tissues, and she also made this bag. She sent me this bag that she made. So now I can actually use that, yay. Alright. I already sent her, I messaged her and thanked her for that. I also received a little pick-me-up from my friend Belinda. I received a pretty large pack. It was actually bigger than it should have ever been, from 123 Stitching, and I was like, I did not order from 123 Stitch, but I figured it out. My friend Belinda sent me 2 charts at the Met and November Topaz Fairy. They were in my wish list. Not only did she send me the charts, but she also sent the DMC and beads and treasures and specialty threads if it called for it. I was very, very happy, very thankful. Already messaged her. So, of course, I wanted to find fabric, because one or both of these might be started next month. And I found a use for my grace notes that I've been getting. And I am going to put at the Met on Sonatina. And it's a gray. I think that's going to look good on there. Put that in there for now. They will get project bags full of, don't worry. This is just, I had to kit them up, you know, separate all the things. So, for this November fairy, I went with Butterfly Tea, also a Grace Notes fabric. And this one has, it's more of a blue-green. It's got a green undertone that doesn't come up good with photography or video, because green's horrible like that. But I think it's going to look really good on there. Because I didn't want to go yellow. I think there's enough yellow in her dress and stuff that I didn't want to do yet more yellow. So those will be future projects for sure. I also have intentions of, if you've seen all the videos, you know that this was the bag from the 12 Days of Christmas that I did. And this was the chart done by Fox and Rabbit, from Karen from Fox and Rabbit. Made this great chart for it. I know that she'll be able to sell these in a year. She said she'll offer it next December. So if you want the chart, you'll be able to purchase it from her in a year. But I think I want to start this also this month. And something's gonna fall. Ah, that was loud. That's my thread bucket. It's an old flower thing that I got, an old flower bucket that somebody gave me, and I use it to catch threads when I'm actually sewing. Alright, so my next start, I think, is going to be this one, by the way. Hand Blessings. Hooked on Tea. I also have Hooked on Coffee in here. So I'm not sure if I'll start one or both of them. I might just start both of them just to have them started, but they shouldn't take too long. Famous last words. But there doesn't look like there's a lot of stitching on those, so I think those are going to be my next starts. And then I also received a package in the mail, and it had this great bag from Maples, Minders, and More. I'll just let you read it. And this, I had a sneaky suspicion, and it said it was from Secret Santa. I had a sneaky suspicion, and I did figure it out. I confirmed last night it was from my friend Shannon in Canada. She had this sent to me, and she also bought one for herself, because she knows we're both sassy like that. And I received a late Christmas gift from J Long. So when I told my friend Gina, she said she's going to have to get a cease and desist on J Long and try to back up off her BFF. But I received this coffee in the mail. And Gina said, well, she's better than me. She wins. I said, well, I expect 2 bags from you in the near future then. And this is Disturbed Get Up Dark Java Blend. It comes from Dead Sled Coffee. I don't know where oh, here it is. So, here's the web, or I could throw it at the camera. Here's the website. I did try it. Matter of fact, that's what's in this cup right now. Although it's a dark blend and it says it's more on the bitter side, it's got a pretty decent flavor. It's not rock gut coffee. So it is a darker blend. They do have lighter blends in there, and they have, I think they have Kiss. Do they have AC/DC? They have Rob Zombie. They have a couple of them, so check them out. I mean, if you like rock and roll and stuff, and it's good coffee, it's worth it. That's what I say. Anyway, so, yeah, J Long got me that. So I've gotten presents, and I've felt very loved. Not that presents need to be had to feel loved, but I'm very appreciative of all the presents, and I love the cards. Oh, that's another card that's sitting here with a little note in it from Megan, Stitch in May. She also started, no, she didn't start that one yet. I don't think she got it. I don't remember that. Anyway, we are going to start one called Love Bugs. I don't think we've decided on a date for this month yet. It's from Meridian Designs. I know I've shown it. And it's a trip kit. Like, but it goes lengthwise. And there's a butterfly, a bee, and a dragonfly. When I was kitting mine up, I noticed I didn't have 2 of the colors. She had plenty of 2 of the colors, so she cut me off a couple lengths and popped it in the mail. And of course, I kept the card because that's what I do, and it'll make good thread drops later. Matter of fact, while I was sick, I was bored because I was constantly tired, and I actually made a whole bunch of thread drops one night out of some older cards that I have. I just keep on putting them in this one container, and every once in a while, I'll just make more thread drops for myself. I think I've run out of things now. I'm double checking. Yeah, that's it. So I am sure this is probably 45 minutes at least by now, if not longer than that. Sorry, not sorry. I didn't think it would be that long because I was sick, but apparently a lot of stuff happens even when I'm sick. I am feeling better. I want to thank everybody that's been reaching out to me and messaging and leaving comments on my Facebook group. Wishing me well wishes and, you know, healing vibes and all the things. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know I didn't say anything on each individual, but when you're that sick, it gets, I pretty much put up blanket thank yous, and they still mean the same as the individuals. It's just I didn't have the strength or the mindset to go and do individual thank yous, but I do appreciate everything. I am getting better. It's going to be a little bit longer before I'm not going to be 100% anyway, but, you know, before I'm back to just me. Hopefully, I will get to sewing possibly tomorrow. I was hoping to start sewing today. I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen, so I'm not, like, heartbroken over the whole situation. But, that's it. That's all I got. I will be back, hopefully, in 2 weeks, as per usual, and hopefully with some decent amount of stitching to show you. I hope everyone is well, and I hope everyone has been having a better New Year than I have so far. It can only go up from here. Don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine. Bye.